So, Newcastle at home. Here's my match review. First, the teams. As I thought, the more likely choice from Frank, with Gallagher as the number 10. As I feared, with Bissouma as the number 6. Sarr was on the left of the two in midfield. In terms of players to mention, it was a terrible first half, but reading back my commentary, all I read was Van de Ven this and Van de Ven that. Probably as we were under bombardment from Newcastle's cross after cross and corner after corner. I'll also have to mention Gray. How can a young boy from right back be our bright spark to turn a game? And he did it a couple of times. And this is not the first time he's done it. In terms of annoyances, sorry, I have to mention Bissouma as a number 6 again. He was substituted at half-time. Spence's attitude is also getting to me. I noticed the disagreement between him and Vicario in the first half, followed by shrugging off Van de Ven, who was only trying to help the situation. To be honest, in that first half, we could mention the whole team. They looked idealess, with no idea how to pass or move. First off, I'll apologise for my comments that Willock and Ramsey can be dominated physically. Turns out this Spurs team can't do that, and Willock and Ramsey look like world beaters at times. Following Man United's lead, Gordon playing as a false 9 and dropping deep worked a treat as well. Considering there are only 2 times Odobe managed a 1v1 with Burn, we have to praise Burn winning those battles. However, this was probably a result of us as a team having no idea in that first half. Elanga and Trippier had banner games. I don't know where Siemens or Sarr were to help Spence, cross after cross from the right. So, Newcastle's first goal. I think it was 20 seconds until half-time. It all started from an offensive free kick from Guimaraes, which was headed out by Gray. Guimaraes beat Siemens to the ball. The play led out to the corner, and Guimaraes passed to Willock via Elanga. At this point, you can see the marking matchups, and unfortunately, as the ball was crossed by Willock, Botman isolated Dragusin, and Chow moved in between Gray and Sarr. Chow leapt like a fish and was unchallenged, heading the ball down into the floor towards the goal. The ball was parried by Vicario, and Chow was first to react, pushing past Sarr to slice the ball into the net. Obviously, in terms of improvements, we were a bit of a shambles in second phase play. Solanke had got drawn out thinking we had a counter on the cards, leaving Newcastle's 3 set-piece threats in the box. This led to the unfair matchup of Chow and Sarr. Obviously, we also need to look at Sarr for not at least affecting Chow's header and not reacting quicker than him. You could also mention the time Willock had to cross with no pressure from Tell. Time for our goal. From a Siemens corner, Sarr jumped higher than Barnes at the back post. At this point, everything looked fine for Newcastle in the box, with 1-to-1 matchups and a 3-to-1 matchup at the front post. Pope naturally moved to the back post as the ball went there, and Burn fell back to the goal to fill up the space Pope left. This left Gray free in the box. Sarr headed it across to Gray, who side foot volleyed the ball into the net. As for areas to improve, you could look at Barnes being outjumped at the back post and also Burn leaving Gray free. There could also be a chat about the 3-to-1 marking at the front post and why one of those didn't help Burn. Newcastle's second goal to win it. There was an element of basketball before their second goal. Gallagher was breaking forward and it looked like he stubbed his toe, losing the ball. He laboured back, looking injured, to help out with Gordon, who had dropped back with the ball. Gordon turned him, and Gordon dribbled into the box. Paulinho and Dragusin were attracted to the ball. You can see the space developing between Van de Ven and Dragusin. There's also the case of them not having a definite striker to mark, as Gordon dropped deep. You can also see the space Ramsey has. There was then a lovely pass inside from Gordon to Ramsey, who finished first time, catching everyone by surprise. As for areas to improve, obviously Gallagher, who laboured back and lost Gordon, he was substituted straight after the goal. Also, the space that appeared between Dragusin and Van de Ven, and neither of them picking Ramsey up. Can Frank survive again? This has been a review from Dear Tottenham Hotspur. Visit our website for more previews, reviews and thoughts. Yours sincerely and faithfully. Come on, you Spurs.